What's shaking, everybody? My name is Ross Mandell, and I'm coming to you guys live today from Woolley Studios in Delray Beach, Florida. It's the Formula One weekend. Lots going on, lots happening. But I got a special guest for you guys today. You know, there's an expression. He came back from the dead. Well, in this particular case, this guy literally was dead. And he is back. And we got to hope that we could keep him upright, at least for the next 90 minutes. And we get his testimony and his story. He wrote an incredible best-selling book, Embrace Abundance, more than 3/4 through. And I got it. It's gripped me. You guys know my story. It's, I relate to this story. I hate to say it. I wish I didn't. But, he's a spectacular young man, because to me, everybody's young. And I want to introduce, without any further ado, the amazing, the one and only Frank Parisi.
Ross, thanks for having me on.
What's up, my brother?
I'm so happy to be here.
We're so happy that you were able to make it.
I was supposed to come down a few weeks ago, but I couldn't make it.
Listen, we know you're busy.
Yeah.
We know you're busy, and we're grateful just to squeeze you in. I mean, it's a big weekend here in Florida.
It's a big weekend.
It's a big weekend. And then I have a lot of friends that flew to Kentucky for the Derby this weekend.
Yeah.
So you're talking about multiple things. I'm invited to like 8 parties.
I came in for you and F1 because all my friends are here from New York, so we come every year for F1.
Do you actually go to the events?
Yeah, we go to F1. Yeah. Tomorrow we're going to, I think, the Hard Rock or something.
Yeah.
Boats, Hard Rock.
I was offered a bunch of tickets. They say it's $2,500 ticket. I got you here. Take these. And I'm like, I was talking to Stephanie. We were married for over 20 years, and we continue to be best friends. And she's helping me in the business. She's a booker. And she goes, "You going to go to the races?" I said, "Steph, you've been with me 30 years. I could do anything in the world I want. Did you ever see me go to a race?" She starts laughing.
I'm not a big race guy, but they're all going, so I said I'll go.
I did go to the Daytona 500.
Did you? Yeah.
And I went to the Indianapolis 500.
Okay.
Just because I like doing stuff.
I love sports, but I mean, I'm not a race guy, but my friends all go, so I go.
I feel like my whole life is a race.
My whole life is a race.
You know what I mean?
I do.
And I've cracked up a few times.
Oh, me too.
And I know you have.
I have.
So without any, I like to go back, and I like to give my guests an opportunity to get to know you.
Yeah.
So you aren't always this muscle-bound. Look at the guns on this kid. What? I mean, you got to see the abs on him. He's ripped. And it makes me feel less than, I swear.
No, don't.
Well, I don't know if you eat. Do you eat?
I eat for life. Yeah, very disciplined, Russ.
You're very disciplined.
Very disciplined.
Always, or since the accident?
No, I've always been disciplined, but I mean, I was undisciplined and then I was disciplined, but I've worked out since I'm 14.
Okay.
So every day since I'm 14, which is what basically saved my life.
I would have to get addicted to crystal meth to have abs like that. But I could probably do it in like 3 or 4 months.
Listen, I have a coaching program. What I'm going to do is I'm going to send you all my recipes.
I love it.
I'll give you all my recipes.
Like if we went to this restaurant, you invited me to dinner tonight to come by. You said you're having dinner.
Yeah.
Like, what would you order? What do you get in a restaurant?
I eat 28 meals a week, so 26 of them are going to be dialed in, like, it's phenomenal. Maybe one, while I'm out here, I'm going to probably eat something.
What would you have?
Tonight, I don't know. I mean, like, bad or good? Like, if I go to the restaurant tonight, I'm probably going to get a salad and maybe a steak. It depends on where we go. I think we're going
You're
to
not going to get a
restaurant.
pasta or anything like that?
Maybe, while I'm here. Yes,
Italian
while I'm here,
kid,
I gotta.
Italian kid?
No, while
Pick
I'm
up your
here,
shirt.
I
I want them to see what I'm talking about. You sit down. Guys, look at this. And he's sitting in a bad position. Look at that. I mean, bro.
And I'm all scarred up.
Well, that even, some chicks dig that. And,
Yeah, I'm all scarred up.
I see on your arm.
Yeah,
I see.
and my chest all over. Ross.
All right, listen. It's a small price to pay.
That's right.
You're still beautiful. Look at you.
Listen, I'm grateful.
Face is perfect, clean.
Grateful.
So let's talk about it. How old a guy are you?
45.
45. So, 45. in my world, you're just becoming a man.
Yeah.
I think boys don't become men until they're about 40.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter how successful they are.
Yeah. I think I feel that way.
That's how I really
Like
believe it.
really
50
fully
is your
disciplined.
prime. 50 to 60,
Yeah.
you're really killing it. So where you from, Frankie? Where you born, raised?
I'm born in Manhattan. I grew up in the Lower East Side, Manhattan. Literally, I grew
Literally?
up on Elizabeth Street, in between Houston and Bleecker.
Really?
Yeah.
It's like the Village, really,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That's where you like went to school and everything?
Yeah, I went to school in Chinatown. Yeah. But
Really?
then we moved to Staten Island. So
Okay.
my family's got Parisi Bakery. I've been there since 1903 on Mott Street.
On Mott Street.
Mott Street, yeah, literally. So I grew up. At some point, my grandfather, when he was alive, he moved the bakery. He kept the store on Mott, but he moved the bakery to Elizabeth Street. I grew up to bake it because he grew it, and I grew up above the bakery in the building.
Still around?
The building that I grew up in, the bakery's not there no more.
No more.
When my father passed away, he moved all the recipes over to Brooklyn. There's a bakery out there called Il Fornaio in.
I know Il Fornaio.
Yeah.
Used to be in Manhattan.
Bensonhurst. Yeah, so
Yeah.
but yeah, there's an Il Fornaio in Manhattan too.
Correct.
So they make all the bread, and the store's still there making the sandwiches.
So,
And
you
it's
know,
been there since 19.
I'm a New York guy
Yeah,
and grew up and sort of a fast guy.
me too.
And I get it. And to me, when I listen to your accent, I hear this story, I'm thinking mobsters, gangsters, right?
Yeah. I grew up with all that. Yeah. So my father was involved with organized crime. I mean, it's on Google. I don't.
Right. You
know,
can't
I
have
wrote
a
book.
bakery in that area unless you're friggin'.
It's all in. Yeah, I
you know,
mean,
you
I
gotta
grew
be
up 2
connected.
blocks from Gotti's social club.
Yeah, you got to be connected.
Yeah.
Okay, so you grew up in that world, so to speak, right?
I grew up
Father,
right in that
grandfather.
world. Totally different world.
Yeah.
Totally different world. Only if you would understand
I get it.
Yeah, but like not like people don't understand. Unless you're from there, you never understand it.
Right.
Or you'll grow up in that, you never
And it's
understand
hard to
it.
describe it. I'm pretty good with words, but it's
Royce,
if you don't know, you don't know.
Growing up, you got to realize I was born 1979, so crack literally hit Bleecker Street. I grew up around the corner from CBGB, the first ever Def Jam Studios, and then on the corner was crack. So my father and uncles, we had the bakery. They would leave baseball bats in front of the bakery, and if anybody was doing anything, they would say, "Listen, go down the street and do what you got to do." They wanted to keep the front of the building safe for me.
Of course, bro.
And a lot of times, 4 or 5 years old, here I am watching guys get their head split open with baseball bats.
Good for them. They probably deserve that privilege. I hate to say it.
But that's the world that I
Right.
grew up in.
Right.
You know what I mean?
That's how you keep drugs out of your neighborhood.
But
Split a
back
few
then, that's
heads.
how it was. Because
was.
there was no
I-
cops. You know
I
what
can
mean?
testify to that.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
And to deal something like crack.
Yeah.
I would be out there with the baseball bat as well with the neighbors and stuff when I was younger because it's just outrageous.
Yeah.
You want to bring it to another neighborhood? Okay, none of my business,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So now you're born and raised Lower Manhattan, and then at what point do you guys move to Staten Island?
Oh, I was like first grade. We moved out there.
Okay.
Yeah. So mostly grew up in Staten Island, but I was always in the city with my father at the bakery.
Where in Staten Island?
First, I moved in with my grandmother in like Midland Beach, and then Dungan Hills.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you grew up in a house where your parents were married.
They were, but then they got divorced. That's when I was like 16, and my house was chaotic. It was chaotic. My father was addicted to cocaine, but keep it on the down low. He can't tell nobody. So he had his demons. You know?
Get it. Boy, that's a tough
yeah.
drug. That's the drug that brought me to my knees.
Yeah, and you got to realize also,
Hard to hide that
my
stuff.
father was a huge pot dealer too. So
didn't
never
know.
made guy, but like associate.
He
and
kicked up.
big time. Yeah, and we had family that was, and so like that was a crazy life because the addiction, the violence, the keeping everything a secret, can't tell nobody nothing.
You were aware of it growing up?
I was aware of it, and the house, as much as my father was a great man, he did the best what he was working with. I think we're all programmed, and he did the best that he could do with what his environment taught him. You know,
Brothers, sisters?
just me,
Just you.
just me.
You have that sort of, I'm the prince, I'm the king kind of attitude. I mean, you do, like the only child, attitude. You used to getting the attention. I mean, you're the guy, right? In the house, you're the baby, the mom. Your mother must have, these Italian moms. I loved. So I'm a Jewish boy, grew up in Long Island, and I married an Italian chick.
I
from the
married a
Bronx.
Jew.
Oh boy, you. That's a reverse.
Yeah, but that's a great.
I love it.
It's a great combination.
It's a great combination.
Come on, you know that.
A great combination. Yeah. You're still married.
I've been with her since we're 16 years old.
It says she wrote one of the forwards to your book. I was
my angel.
very impressed.
My angel, forget it.
Listen, she's got to be more than an angel to put up with you.
She's an attorney. She used to defend me in court.
Now I'm dying.
Well, she never had.
Dying.
Yeah.
I'm dying.
She never changed her name for like 3 years. We were married because she was like,
right.
I was a disaster.
Probably the best client.
Goldberg was her maiden name.
What's the first name?
Catherine Goldberg.
Where's
they would call me
up from. Was she from Brooklyn?
Staten Island.
Oh, Staten Island. Okay.
Yeah, Staten Island girl. Yeah,
and she became a defense attorney.
Well, no, she wasn't a defense attorney.
You turned her into one.
But for me, like the King of New York.
Wow. I almost rented that movie the other night just to see it again. One of my favorite movies.
Great movie.
Great movie.
Never knew watching it growing up I'd be like,
did you ever do time?
Never time. Just a lot of
arrests.
I can't even count.
You got a sheet, huh?
I got a sheet. Yeah. I got something pulled every time. Listen, my life it's not from here, Bruce.
Well,
there's something. There's been something watching over me my whole life.
There's no question.
There's something watching.
There's no question.
Because I should have been in a cage for a long time, but somehow something always got pulled or something happened. Yeah.
Maybe you've been ordained to deliver a message.
I believe that with all of my soul.
And so he's protecting you.
100%.
In spite of yourself.
Yes.
Yes. They say God listens mostly to the tortured souls.
Yes.
And it sounds like you're a tortured soul.
Tortured was.
Yeah.
As much as I love my family, there was a lot of like sickness. You know what I mean?
I do.
There was a lot of sickness.
You know from pain, right?
A lot of pain.
Confusion?
Massive confusion.
Right. When you see your parents like this, and I mean, it's your parents, and like.
Yeah, fighting all the time, the addiction.
Well,
and then my father would be like, would go, like, here's an example, you know what I mean? Go to the Stanley Cup, 1994, Rangers, Vancouver, Game 7. I'm a huge Ranger fan. But, like, my uncle's there with his friend smoking crack in the bedroom.
Everybody needs a hobby. Everybody needs a hobby.
I know, but like that's
nuts.
The insanity.
That's nuts.
That's the
smoking
fucking
crack in
Madison Square Garden.
I would be panicked.
But my point is, like, I'm 14 years old hanging out with this.
I understand.
It's not normal. And then, like, the insanity that ensued that night after that, and just the chaos, the violence, the not knowing, like, as a kid, what's gonna pop off. You don't know, like, at any moment, someone could get hit with a bat, or a machete gets pulled out, or a gun gets pulled out.
It's confusing to a kid.
It's very confusing, and then we're like, we're going to the Super Bowl.
I understand. I understand.
You know what I mean?
I hate to say it, but I do understand. I wish I didn't. Yeah. You guys don't understand, but I want you to listen, because this is all in the book. It's all documented. His story is very real. He offers mentorships, masterminds, advise and help young men that maybe you didn't have anybody to go to. You didn't have really social media to go to in those days. You didn't have a chance to say,
we
you know what?
only knew our environment.
Correct.
You only knew your environment.
Correct.
Your map was smaller than it is today.
So how old were you when you picked up the first time?
I was like 12 years old. My father had the best pot. He was the biggest pot dealer in New York. You could Google it.
It's too bad I didn't know him.
You might have got it from him.
I was sort of...
So 12 years old I started, you know. I took my first pill at like 16.
So you smoking weed, just drinking? Like kids
regular.
Do that, though.
Yeah,
kids do that stuff.
Yeah, no, it didn't turn to a problem. Like the pills didn't turn to a problem until probably like 20, 21 years old.
What kind of pills are we talking about?
I start with the Percocets.
Right.
You know, the Percocets, then it went to the Vicodins, the Percocets.
The Lortabs, Oxys, Roxys.
And then those started coming out,
right.
You know,
did
the Oxys.
Did you snort them? Or
no, I used to just eat them.
But you took a lot.
Oh, I mean, when it got to a point, it was, I mean, honestly, the habit got so out of control. So out of control.
And it's expensive.
Extremely expensive.
Yeah.
Extremely expensive. I mean, I was taking eight to 10 if I had the money for it, that much. 80s, Oxycontin 80s a day. That's a huge habit.
Huge.
Yeah, because it took me down a dark road. It made me bankrupt. Negative. You know what I mean?
Do I know? Of
Yeah,
course I know.
31 years old, negative.
Well, let's get to that because you're not 31 yet.
No.
So you meet Catherine.
In high school, reading, she loved me because I was reading the newspaper.
Did you guys fool around? In high school?
Yeah.
Oh, you guys, she was like your girl.
She was my girlfriend.
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
the prom and that kind of thing?
Oh, yeah, prom, everything.
Okay, so you really have a history.
We've lived our whole life. We grew up together.
So what happens after high school with you? I'm trying to understand. Like, it doesn't sound like you just went right off to college like a regular kid.
No, I did. I went to St. John's for 2 years, but I failed out. How am I going to go to school? I'm counting, I'm bringing up bales of pot. I'm counting $100,000 as a kid.
I understand.
I'm not going to school. I'm hanging out with all the guys.
I understand.
So the apartment I grew up in became the drop.
I got it. The trap house, like.
Yeah, the bakery, you go in, boom,
Right,
boom,
right,
boom,
right.
boom, boom, boom. You know what I mean? But that was the spot, and it was a hangout. It was like a club.
Right. They had trucks to deliver the baked goods, so they
Yeah, well, there was stuff.
weeds, all kinds
Yeah,
of
but
things.
there was like a separate business.
No,
but
I understand.
Kind of like,
I get it.
You know what I mean?
Of course.
Yeah,
Wow, huh? So now,
a lot going on
you-
as a kid.
So where did Catherine go to school?
She went to college at Wagner, and then she became a lawyer. She went to Brooklyn Law.
Brooklyn Law. Do you want to hear something very interesting? You guys don't know this. The highest percentage of law students that pass the bar, you might think it's Harvard. You might think it's Yale. Some would say Princeton.
Let's hear.
You know what the answer is?
What?
Brooklyn Law.
Wow, there you go, Kat.
Because those kids are not some highfalutin, wealthy Ivy Leaguers.
no.
Those kids, they go to law school, they're passing that fucking bar exam.
Yeah.
And I'm proud to say my daughter starts law school in August.
Oh, where's she going?
Nova
Oh, nice out here.
in Miami.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm very proud.
Amazing.
She did University of Florida in 3 years.
Yeah.
When I went to prison, she was 11.
Wow.
When I got out, she was 20.
Yeah.
Can you imagine? I mean, and that's Stephanie, my Italian stalker from the Bronx. They fear her. You know what I mean? They love her and they fear her. And she's got her finger on these kids and they're killing it. I'm just so
great.
proud. Thank you, Steffi.
Yeah,
Thank you. My girls are the best.
Grateful.
But, because, she was not, doesn't matter what happened to me or our family, those kids are going to be stars no matter what.
Yeah.
And, they did that. That's the power of a good parent.
Yes.
You're a parent?
Yes.
Tell us.
Yeah.
You and Catherine?
Yeah.
Tell them. Nobody
He's
knows.
Six, my boy Sonny, he's 8 years old.
What's his name?
Sonny.
Sonny Parisi.
Sonny Parisi.
You gotta read this book if you really want the inside dope. Can they buy it on Amazon?
Amazon.
You have a site? You have a website?
I do. Frank-Parisi.com.
How'd you come up with that name?
I don't know.
It's very clever. You put the hyphen in. That's very innovative.
Yeah.
But you want more. You want to really understand some of the details. It's a very heartfelt book, and you can understand why before this podcast is over. But some of you are not going to watch the whole thing, so I wanted to grab it in the beginning.
Yeah.
I learned. You learn.
Yeah.
So as we go, and I want people to buy your book. This is, I think it's outstanding. It's an easy read.
Yeah. You can read it
It's
quick.
what I called heartfelt. It pulled at my strings. You know what I mean? I was like, I didn't want to read it. I didn't want to be into it. I just wanted to turn pages, like get to know you a little bit. I didn't want to know too much. And I found myself sitting there, and the phone rings at Stephanie. She goes, I think you should read Frank's book. And I'm sitting there, I'm on like page 80. And I'm like, okay, Steph. But so now Catherine is living at home, going to Wagner.
Yeah.
Stay in Staten Island, right?
Yeah.
Great.
We were both living in parents' houses.
Right. And at some point you moved in together.
We did.
Or that was, and this is when you were still very active. Let's talk about this.
Oh, yeah. So she saved my life, Rose. And addiction.
Tell us.
So I one night, and I'm in addiction. No one really knows yet, but I'm like, I know I'm strung out on the pills. Nobody knows.
Everybody knew, but nobody was saying anything.
Nobody was saying that.
That's what I found. When, I
No,
thought
everybody knew.
I thought I was a big secretive guy.
Yeah.
And then when I got back from rehab, I walked into the bar that I used to party at, and they all stood up and gave me a standing ovation.
No, yeah.
You know what I mean? I didn't think anybody knew.
Yeah. No, they all know. I was
nobody
I was
knows.
delusional thinking they
We're
didn't know.
delusional.
So anyway, one night I'm at, this is when everybody like definitely knew.
Oh, okay.
Because I OD.
First time?
First time, only time, but first time.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Let's talk
So
about
I'm at my friend's deli on Highland Boulevard with whatever, and I'm just popping whatever, like whatever you got. I don't even know, because when you're in that state, you're like, whatever you got. You know what I mean? I want to
What
just
you
change how
wanted-
I feel.
You wanted opiates.
I wanted
You
opiates,
don't
but
want
they
to
said,
take-
"Here, take this." So I took it, but it was methadone.
Oh, God.
Yeah. So I did methadone and Xanax.
Oh, what a combination.
yeah, well,
If you
next
want to
thing-
stop breathing.
Exactly. So
Perfect.
right. So that's what happened. And again, this is like.
And you didn't take a half.
No, I mean,
What?
I don't even know what I took.
Oh, you're taking bars or Xanax.
Yeah.
Why? Because you didn't have any. You ran out of tablets.
I didn't have any. Yeah.
And you never bought any heroin to.
No, I never did
I have a lot
heroin.
of friends that made that leap.
No, I never did heroin.
They couldn't get in. They had money.
Yeah.
And they got their legal prescriptions, and they got the morphine, and they got this, and they really had
Yeah.
X-rays and MRIs. The doctor's right.
Yeah.
But even no matter how much they were getting, at some point they're running out.
Yeah.
And so they substitute with some street
Never did-
heroin.
I never did it.
You know
I
what
never
I mean?
did heroin.
Snorting heroin. Next
Yeah.
thing you know, they're addicted to heroin.
Also, you got to realize I got sober 2011, so that was like the heroin wasn't as prevalent in like it is now. You know what I mean?
I do know, yes.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I hear, but yes.
Yeah, so like that was not a thing. But anyway, she was at her mother's house, and I was driving to my parents' house, leaving my buddy's deli.
On all this other stuff you're taking, the methadone and the
Yeah,
Xanax.
but and for whatever reason, she never leave her mother's house. It's like 1:00 in the morning. She felt something was wrong with me.
They know, women know.
She felt it.
They're
It's
connected-
energy.
women
was
that are connected.
Connected,
Yeah.
yes, you know.
There's no question.
She goes to my parents' house, and I'm dead in the car.
What does that mean?
I've OD'd. I didn't even know. I black out.
You pulled up in the car.
I don't remember anything.
I know, but
This is what she
she
told me.
found you in the
She
car?
found me slouched over in the car. She had a key to my parents'
You never
house.
got out of the car.
Never got out of the car.
I
It was
got you.
purple. She had a key to the house, and woke my father up, threw me in the back of the car. I was a block from the hospital.
Thank God.
And I remember like the nurses giving me the charcoal because they didn't know what was wrong with me.
Right.
And I just threw it up that whole night. And then the next day, I'm in the ICU unit, and now like one of the nurses is one of the moms in the neighborhood.
Right. They all know,
So like everybody knew.
Of course, everybody knows.
Everybody know, and the sick part of addiction is why you're in the OD. What am I thinking about?
You calling your buddy up, can you
I
get me
gotta
something?
go get more.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
That's the
Trust me,
sick. That's the sickness.
I have that story too.
Yeah.
I get a surgery. I can't breathe,
Mm-hmm.
and my guys are smuggling in weed. So I'm taking the oxygen out of my thing, smoking weed.
Fucking crazy. That's the insanity of addiction. You know?
It's really beyond.
Yeah.
I just felt.
And you don't even know
You
it.
flatlined.
I don't know. I mean, they gave me the charcoal. Yeah, it was not. I stopped breathing.
Back from
you
the
know?
dead, like
Yeah.
legit, really.
Yeah.
And how long did they keep you? A couple of days or
4 days, because then they
4
got to
days.
do psych evaluations, make sure you didn't try to kill yourself.
Never got arrested for that.
No, I didn't get arrested.
You
for
didn't
that.
wake up chained to the bed.
No, I've done that before though. I've woken up chained to the bed.
Naturally.
Crazy. That was an old other crazy fucking story.
Been there, done that.
Oh god, I fought with a cop at the auxiliary cop. They blocked me up. I had Xanax on me. I made the rookie cop. I said, "Listen, I can't piss with you. You
Standing
here."
there.
I had 100 Xanax on me. I threw it right out. I mean, he left. Thank God. That would have been a whole nother charge.
100 Xanax a problem, yeah.
Yeah. That would have been a nightmare. You know.
I got it. So you're 31 when this happened? The OD?
No.
this
I'm in my 20s now.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
this wasn't the end of your run.
No.
no.
But that's what got me to Texas. From there, I went to rehab. That rehab said, you know what, you got to go to a long term. I said, all right, I'll go to long term.
Where's long term?
I went for like 4 months.
Okay.
In Texas.
So
I went to a
the
LD
first
in
rehab
Texas.
was like at 28 months? 28 days, I mean?
Yeah.
I
went
did
to
a 28-day program.
I went to rehab 6 times, Russ. Jail, rehab. I mean, like, it was a disaster for a long time.
What a woman. She stood by you.
Fucking by me the whole time. I don't
What a
even know.
woman.
I don't even know. The greatest.
Catherine,
The
baby.
best. You're the best. I love you
Jewish,
so much.
I mean,
like old school. Like
yeah. Today they run. They
nah, forget it. Like
Yeah.
you the best.
Yeah, it's crazy.
The best. Did you good Jewish woman?
I
Telling
get you. I
right
got
now.
it. I was raised by a Jewish woman.
Yes, old school.
So
Solid.
So you get out of the hospital and you're still running.
Oh, I'm running and gunning. I go to rehab. It's just like
Now,
the
what are you
rehab
doing
thing.
for money? Business? You're dealing.
I'm dealing. Yeah,
Right,
yeah.
that
I
was-
work a little at the bakery. I deal.
It's like the family business.
Yeah,
in
I'm
an odd
just
way.
degenerate. You know. Yeah.
In an odd way. It's like the family business, right? It's,
Yeah.
What do you? I'm a family business.
Yeah.
Yeah, we deal drugs. we extort.
Not
people.
normal.
Well,
Not normal.
but when you're growing up, you don't know really.
You only know what you know.
Right.
Well, going to Texas, that woke me up.
Oh my God, that must have been
Well,
like-
it was a culture shock. I'm in rehab with these
Why
guys. They're
Texas,
talking to
though?
me.
I mean, there's so many great rehabs.
There
in
was
New
a
York.
place in upstate New York. I trusted these people. I went there 3 times. They said, "Listen, you got to go somewhere else."
Which place was that?
It's not there no more. It's called the New Direction. Margaret Batson, I love you, and Matt, God rest your soul. But
You didn't
these
have
people-
you didn't really have good health insurance. You didn't have health insurance. You pay cash.
I pay cash.
Right.
I don't even think I had health insurance.
That's what I was just saying.
There was no
yeah.
health insurance.
No. Drug dealers just can't
There
get
was
good
no
health
bank
insurance.
accounts. There was no.
Right, I understand. Duffel bags. I get it. Freeze dried. I get it. That's so crazy, right?
I know it's different, but that's the beautiful thing about life is that like there's many different lives that I've lived.
Yeah,
and I'm living
yeah.
now a whole new life. You know.
You know, they say you can share your experience, strength, and hope.
Yes.
You have all 3 going for you. That's a really beautiful thing.
Yeah.
So, right back on the horse, you're dealing again.
Yeah. Yeah.
And what do you say to Catherine? What is she saying to you? Does she party?
No, she got drunk once, 2000.
Stephanie.
That was
Stephanie
it.
got drunk once in her whole life.
On 2000, the year 2000, that was it.
Stephanie got drunk New Year's Eve. She was 19
She
years old.
never
Hunter
smoked
Mountain.
Weed. Hunter Mountain. Oh my God.
Went up New Year's Eve.
Yeah.
By 10:30, she's already passed out. They had to take her back to put her in
Yeah.
bed. She never got drunk again the rest of her life.
Yeah. Kathy's the same
Me?
way.
I OD. 2 minutes later, I'm back out.
Yeah.
I could puke and pose.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm like sick, right?
I do. I know.
Sick.
I know.
So, but now the cat's out of the bag. People know you sort of got a drug problem.
Oh, everybody knows. I became a degenerate. Forget about it. Nobody wanted me around no more.
What about Catherine?
She was the only one. But she would leave.
Of course, I'm
She
sure.
would leave. You know, I'd manipulate her to come back. You know that whole story. You know what I mean?
Manipulation? I don't know anything about that. Manipulation. Me? Moi?
You know?
Wild, right?
Yeah.
And so, did you eventually marry her?
Yeah.
You had a wedding and all?
I did. You want to know how crazy to my...
I want to hear. So I want to. Before you got clean.
No, this is while I'm trying. Like,
Right.
no, we got married 2009. I didn't get sober.
Okay,
till
so you're still
2011.
flying.
So yeah, I'm still flying.
I got it.
Like this is how bad it is, Ross. I'm like, all right, we're gonna get married. I'm gonna go get clean. So I go to a treatment again.
Okay,
Right?
where'd you go this time?
I went back to Texas. I go back to Texas, right?
What's it called in Texas? Let's give them a shout out.
But they're not there no more.
Oh.
Yeah.
You like put them.
But
out
it used to
every
be more
place you
Houston
go,
recovery.
right,
It used to be
business.
more Houston recovery. So anyway, but so I go back there and I come out and I get loaded right away. I'm like, oh God, I can't stay sober.
After
So-
rehab, you
after
loaded
rehab,
right
so-
away.
Yeah, so
On
like
what?
I'm
What
getting
would you do?
married
What
and
would
like,
you? What would you take? Like, would you drink alcohol?
no opiates. I would take the pills. I would have to
After
do
going
pills.
to a program, we've actually detoxed, right?
Where I detox.
Have you gone through many withdrawals in your life? Correct.
Yeah.
It's not fun.
It's a nightmare. I never had I never did the work, Ross. The work to heal.
Yeah, the
You know what I
inside
mean?
stuff. I get it.
You know what
You
I
never
mean?
took the 12 steps.
Not at that. I mean, I never. I failed to enlarge on it.
I got it.
You know what I mean?
I do. Half measures availed us nothing.
Yes.
Not
yes.
50%, not 75%.
No.
Zero.
Yes.
I get
like you, like the 10th and the 11th step is a maintenance step, and when I fail to do that, then I fall back into self, and I'm operating from
100%.
the guy that OD'd, but I think I'm doing good because my external's doing good, and that means absolutely not. That's a dangerous place to be, for me.
Well, you know, I've literally done the 12 steps backwards.
Yeah.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
I've heard that expression my
yeah.
my whole ride in the program, but I actually lived it at one point.
Yeah.
I literally stopped helping people. I stopped taking inventory.
Yeah.
Instead of praying to God, I became God.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I do.
I just literally went back all the way to
Step zero.
really.
You got that.
Let's go.
And then we get high again.
But so that's very interesting, though. So you weren't a cocaine guy,
I did coke.
of course.
Yeah. But it wasn't my thing. But I would do, when I'm doing the pills, I'm doing coke.
Oh yes.
Oh, yeah, I was like, up and down, up and
But
down.
you're doing the pills every day. See, the thing about
Every
these pills,
day.
you can't just do them on the weekends. Once
No,
you're doing
once
them,
you're addicted,
you need
it's physical.
Yeah.
And that's the whole thing. It's like the shame, the sickness, and then like it's the cycle. It's the cycle. You don't want to do it, then you do it, and then you don't want to do it, and then you're hurting everybody that you love.
Swear you're never going to do it again.
You're never going to do it
I wanna
again.
Get well, I want it.
Yeah, you can't
then-
will it away.
You know, it's a mental. I try to explain this to
Mental
people.
obsession.
You have a disease that's centered in your mind.
Mind.
You never know that voice in your head if it's healthy or it's Satan. You don't know.
Yeah.
It's just a voice in your head. You have to learn how to separate. You have to learn to hear your disease.
Self-mastery.
Like I hear my disease
I
talking to me.
understand. And it shows up in different ways, too. You know?
Yeah. Every which way. So now you get married. That must have been a fun wedding.
I got married.
Did you get high at the wedding?
Wait. No, this is even better. So I get out of the rehab in Texas. I come. This is how much of a disaster I was. This is what addiction does. Don't do drugs. So I get out, right? And I'm at it for a few months. But I'm getting married in like November. So now I'm like, I got to go back to rehab.
Does she know or not really?
Yeah. She's like, you got to go to rehab.
Again.
So I go to rehab. This is like now like a month before my wedding. I'm like, I got to clean up.
And you're still dealing.
Yeah, because I just spent like $60,000. It's like this wedding cost a lot of money back then,
think?
like 2009.
You
You know
think?
what I mean? Yeah. So it was like a lot of money. We didn't want to lose on the money. So like it was like, you know what? Let's see. If anything, we didn't want to like lose face to the family. Whatever
I get the
bullshit.
whole thing, bro. I
You
get all
understand.
this. Terrible.
You understand. So I go to rehab. I come out. I'm in a meeting in Manhattan with my buddy, and I'm fucking loaded.
In the meeting.
In the meeting. I got like, there's like 5 days before my wedding.
Oh my God.
He drives me back to the fucking rehab. I wake up in the rehab and I'm like, where am I?
What am I doing? You need a couple of tablets.
So I
just to
had
get
my,
right.
so here's for the listeners. I had my bachelor party at the McDonald's in the Catskill Mountains. With the druggy buggy. So my buddy then came and picked me up the night before my wedding, like chaperoned me, make sure I stood sober. I was sober at my wedding. But I had firecrackers going off from my head. How crazy, right?
But what about after you married at the reception? You get high? You
I
didn't
was
drink?
sober at the whole reception.
You
That
didn't
whole
drink?
night, nothing. Sober as a whistle. Firecrackers going on. in my
Stephanie's
head.
dad, old school Italian, half a wise guy. He was a teamster. You know what I mean? From the Bronx. A lot of things fall off trucks.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah,
And,
I do know.
I was stone cold sober. That's why I married so well. And he comes up to me, says, because we were drinking that Martinelli's, you know, when you drink it,
I
and then
know,
you break
yeah.
the glasses, you're under the huppah, all these different, the Jewish thing.
Yeah.
And he goes, it's not a real wedding unless you have a drink. And he brings me a glass of champagne. And I'm like, Carmine, we're married. It's legal. We're married by a judge. You know, because he wanted an Italian wedding. My family wanted Jewish. So we found a judge.
Yeah.
Little do know, it's not the first time I would be in front of a judge.
Yeah.
Many years later. But he just felt like it was wrong that I didn't drink at the wedding. You know, old school Italian.
Yeah.
None of the people, none of his family drinks or
Yeah.
does drugs at all.
But everybody knew I was messed up.
You
so
are.
They were like,
Yeah.
you're not drinking. You know what I
All
mean?
right, so now you're married. Did you take a honeymoon?
I did Aruba.
Okay.
I don't remember the first 2 days.
More pills.
Xanax, yeah.
Xanax.
Xanax, opiates, just disaster.
Right. You're not a drinker?
I drank the whole time then.
Okay.
Yeah.
No more.
No, I've been sober 14 years.
I'm just asking.
July 31st,
I
2011.
want people to hear. A lot of people
No.
think sober means You only drink on the weekends.
No, I don't.
Or you only drink on special occasions, or it's just beer or wine.
No.
No, but people don't understand. You have to realize you take it for granted because we live in this little world.
Yeah.
But the rest of this big world is like, what the hell are these guys talking about?
Yeah, no. I've been sober. Well, July 31st, 2011 will be 14 years, and because of my sobriety, bro.
What's your date?
July 31st, 2011.
Very nice.
So and that is why.
So between
changed.
09 and 11,
Yeah.
you're married now. You're living together.
Disaster.
Sonny, is Sonny
not even around yet.
Not yet. Not
disaster.
even
Disaster.
But those must have been a rocky 2 years.
Miserable.
This poor woman.
Poor woman. Miserable.
I can't
feel
even
it.
what you
still.
put her
like everything
through.
I've been through, I feel it today. You know what I mean?
Thank God.
But it's part of what was the journey.
Your journey, you basically never had a shot. I hate to say it to you like that.
I did
You
it.
never had a
I'm
shot.
the one, bros.
You never had a shot.
I'm the fucking one in my family.
Right.
I'm the one.
Now, your dad's passed.
My dad passed away.
What about your mom?
She's alive. Yeah.
You in touch with her?
Yeah, all the time.
Okay. She
Yeah.
must feel very good about you.
She does.
Confused, though, but very good about you.
I think
She
the
must blame
world,
herself
the
a little bit.
world's very confused by me, Rose. Just because everything I've been through, I kind of freak people out, but it's what it is.
And the funny
it's
thing
who I
is,
am.
I get you.
I know you do. I love it.
It's like
yeah.
nothing. I'm not even,
Yeah.
I'm just trying to understand, like, opiates. But Xanax is a bad addiction. Benzodiazepines. So that was my main addiction when I detoxed. I was taking 20, 30 a day.
Really?
That's how bad I was.
Yeah. I mean, I would take the bars. I would take the sticks. I would take,
Just to take the edge off.
yeah, I would take a bunch of those too.
Yeah. The Valiums, the 10s, the blues with little hearts in them.
Yes.
I thought they were
to
cute.
start in the morning, I would do an 80, a stick, and
Yeah.
and a quick, just
yeah?
to go
Oh, yeah.
wild, go out into society.
Breakfast of Champions. I used to say that.
I go to the gym. That go like that to the gym and then start my day.
That's pretty crazy.
How fucking insane.
Now, were you always looking this good or not like this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did always. Yeah.
Really?
I've been in good shape my whole life.
There's good shape, but there's the way you look right now.
Right
Firstly,
now, I'm in the best
20.
shape. I'm in the best shape of my life.
You're not
right
20.
now
You're not in your
because my
20s.
diet is so dialed down.
That's why I'm trying to.
It's not diet. It's lifestyle.
Yeah, but the diet itself, you're not.
It's all diet.
That's why I asked you, like, on a salad, you order a salad in a restaurant. What
And
about the
chicken.
dressing?
I mean,
You know
a
what I'm
little
saying?
bit.
A lot of people say the dressing's an
You know
issue.
what else too? I eat a lot of chicken and fruit, like My thing is whole foods.
Whole
So it's
foods.
like eggs, lean meats,
Correct.
vegetables, fruits,
Right.
water, and coffee. That's it. And like no sugar, none of the processed shit, none of that. Because for me, it's life, Ross.
How often do you train?
I train at least 6 days a week. Sometimes
6 days a week.
Yeah.
You're not going today or tomorrow, right? This
Today
weekend, you're
I'm not
busy. It's a
going.
business weekend, really, right?
No, tomorrow I'm working out.
You are working out.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a nice gym where you're staying. Where you find?
I'm at it's at my cousin's condo. So,
all right.
Yeah. So there's a gym in the condo.
What are you doing tomorrow? What are you training?
Arms. Yeah.
You got some nice arms. Man. You got some nice arms. Very well defined.
Yeah.
You have.
I'm gonna give you my whole program. You could follow the whole thing.
I'm now coming back.
You look good.
I used to be a big kid.
I know. I've seen.
I was 220.
I've seen.
I could squat like 500 pounds.
Yeah, I saw.
benching 405.
Yeah.
But
I used to throw up weight like that.
and I used to fight. What happened? The biggest thing with me, I hurt my shoulder.
You were a fighter?
Yeah,
Get out of here. Like
a real fighter.
you're a real fighter.
Yeah. So I was a wrestler in high school.
Oh, get out of here.
And scholarships at Division I schools. I was good, but I wanted to party. And in college is a different level because all the college wrestlers were studs in high school.
Yeah.
They get up 4:30 in the morning and they run.
Yeah.
And they go to the gym.
Yeah.
And they first go to school.
Yeah.
I'm coming back to the dorm at 4:30 in the morning.
Right.
I'm not interested in running.
Right.
From the rip.
Yeah.
So I gave that up. But because I was a wrestler and I used to power lift like when I was very young, like in my teens.
Me too.
And
What was your bench?
well, at different points in my life, on my max bench, I used to do. I
was your
did
max?
435.
Yeah, I did 445. I believe
That's
that.
huge. I do believe that.
445.
I do believe it.
That
You know,
kept me
guys
alive.
used to come up to me, like we'd be on vacation, and these young guys say, "Bro, he goes, how much do you bench?"
Yeah.
And I look at them and say, "Whatever I want."
Yeah.
Because at some point I got tired, of the actual
I know.
bench pressing.
I know you would. Yeah, I saw.
You could do any number if you just want to focus on that. But I started getting into the. So what happened was I had a lot of friends. I was really into MMA. It just was really a big thing happening. Stephanie and I were big fans, and with bodybuilding, and then MMA. And then I hooked up with a bunch of. I hurt my shoulder, and so a guy in the rooms was a former boxing champion, 3-time NCAA champion, and he says, I can heal your shoulder. And I'm looking at him, you dope. He says, just come to this gym. It was called Punch Fitness, a big boxing gym. So he's teaching me. So I was a wrestler, when I was a kid, really good on the ground. If I got my hands on you, it's pretty much over.
Problem, yeah.
And so he taught me stand-up fighting, and it healed my shoulder. So then, I'm hanging out there, and a couple of MMA guys come in, guys that are, they train in Coconut Creek, American Top Team. They fight in the UFC.
Yeah.
And so the guy says, you're pretty good. You punch pretty good. He goes, you should try some jiu-jitsu and this and that.
Yeah.
And I said, who are you? And it turns out he's one of the top 5 fighters in the world. So he started training me, and then I moved over to an MMA gym. But because I was a wrestler, I had that background. The ground game came very easy for me. So I spent I stopped weightlifting altogether because you can't have these big kind of bulky muscles and fight because they require too much oxygen.
Yeah.
You
gas out.
You gas out quickly. And essentially in real fighting, whoever gasses out first loses. It's like a rule of thumb. So you learn all about this, adrenaline dumps and all these different things that happen. But we're talking about you today.
Yeah.
So I'm surprised you don't do something like a guy like you would love fighting, rolling around MMA.
The chest.
So tell us about the chest. What happened? Do you want to show us on the camera? You want to show us?
Yeah, if you want to see it.
Of course. I see your arm. You got something on your arm.
You want me to take it off?
Yeah, let's go. Let's see what you got. John, you don't mind, right? Look at that body, bro.
Look, scars here.
I don't see nothing, bro.
Down here.
Oh, stop it.
Yeah.
It's not. Show the camera. Let's see. Give us a little flex. Come on. Ladies, he's married.
But
we're still taking numbers.
I'm taking.
I happen to be single, so Frankie's going to send it over to me.
I'll send them over to you.
You look beautiful. Now this is a drug addict, overdosing, jails, rehabs, detoxes.
Yeah.
Look how you look, bro.
Yeah.
Look at how you look.
Yeah.
That's like a testament to the work you've done.
Yeah.
Because I have a feeling, based on what I know, the outsides match the insides at some point.
Yeah.
And vice versa.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's an inside job recovery.
Always. It's everything. Everything in our life is a manifestation of our internal condition.
See, I used to be a guy that figured out how to make a lot of money in my 20s. A lot of money. As much as anybody, anywhere. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm not talking about, I made $100,000 a year.
No, you made, yeah.
I'm talking about ridiculous sums of money. That's what Wall Street offered me. But I had a vicious drug problem. I was a garbage head, but the pills, the coke brought me, made me realize I got a problem. Taking 10 or 20 Valium a day to take the edge off wasn't to me a sign that I had a problem. Because I used to get them from the doctors and whatever. I had the money, but I looked good. I'm in a limo or in a Mercedes or on a private jet in the 80s. Who flew in private jets in 1986? I did. You know what I'm saying? And people that cared about me would say, "Bro, you got to stop. You got an issue." I said, "I have an issue." They go, "Bro, you work 2 days a week. You can't even come into the office." And I'm like, "How much money you make last month?" $50,000. I said, "I made $200,000, and I only work 2 days a week. Maybe you should look in the mirror." What an idiot I was. That was my denial.
It's our ego.
Yeah,
Protecting
I could show you my numbers. So how bad could I be? You're the one that probably has a problem. And until I could no longer even go to the office, that was the point.
Yeah.
I couldn't even show up. It was too much anxiety. over nothing.
Yeah.
You know, it's all internal.
No, I understand
So
that
to
too.
the world, I look great. That's why it took me so long to get clean. I was 33 years old. So now, what happens? Something must have happened in 2011.
Yeah,
Because for a guy like you to finally surrender,
yeah.
tell us what happened.
So a guy that I grew up with came looking for. This is how bad my life got. I'm living in Midland Beach in Staten Island, like shithole, plastic on the window roofs. And my wife's working on Wall Street, by the way.
You living with the wife?
Yeah,
And you're still living like that?
living like that.
Because you're just blowing through the money?
Blowing through.
She's making money.
She's making money, yeah. But I'm blowing through it. Like,
And she's not using with you.
no, nothing, never.
She's like your caretaker.
Yeah, it was terrible. And then a guy came looking for money, and
You owe the money.
I owed him money, and my wife came out and paid my street debt, and I looked myself in the mirror that day. I mean, something happened after that. You know what I mean?
How much was it? Can we ask?
Nothing. Fucking $400.
$400. I thought you were gonna say like 20 grand.
$400. I was broke. I was that broke. I was $50,000 in debt.
And to a street guy, that $400, he'll kill you. He'll hurt you for that. $400.
$400.
Wow.
Yeah. So that day I looked myself in the mirror and I took full accountability for where I was at.
How old were you?
31 years old.
31.
I'm watching guys that like couldn't even hold my jock strap, like do better than me in life. And
They're
I'm
living
like,
in
"Are
nice
you
houses. They
fucking
got
kidding me?"
kids.
And I'm like, yeah.
I
And
know. That's why I got sober.
Yeah, and I look
I ran
my-
into people that couldn't carry my water.
Yeah.
And they're happy and they're living nice. And I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm Ross Mandell and I'm miserable.
Yeah. So I looked myself in the fucking mirror and I said, you know what? Who gives a fuck how you got here? You're in a ditch. Who cares how we got in the ditch? The only focus is getting out of the ditch now. So from that moment on, I started to go to AA again. I started to put myself in the middle of the circle and triangle. I started to invest in my recovery. I started to invest in God. I started to invest in personal development, and I was of service to everybody. And my life started to shift. Things started to change. I had an opportunity to go back to Texas and help because how crazy is this? My dad wants me to go do something. I'm half going to AA. And I'm half in the bakery.
Making a delivery or whatever, yeah.
And one day he asked me to go do something, and I said, it's like God through my whole life. And I said, Dad, I can't. And I picked up the phone that I was with a guy, a bunkmate in Texas in treatment with, and I said, bro, listen, I got to get the fuck out of here. I go work for $10 an hour. I want to go work in treatment. And he says, well, I'm opening a treatment center.
Wow.
How crazy is this?
God's hand is moving you around. We're blessed guys.
I come home and I tell my wife, and I go, I have an opportunity to go, and I'm gonna go make $36,000 a year. And I go, I have an opportunity to go. I have an opportunity to go.
You're lucky you weren't married to Stephanie.
Wait. I have an opportunity to go to Texas and go work with my buddy Cole at the Last Resort. He's opening this treatment center, and she goes, let's go.
It's a great name, The Last Resort.
It's
the best name I've ever heard.
It's
for
a great
treatment
place. It's still there. I'm actually going to be out there next.
The
Shout out
Last
Last
Resort.
Yeah.
I love that.
Shout out Brittany Bears. Yeah.
Brittany, we're shaking, baby.
So literally, like a week later, I don't even tell nobody. My father's calling me like, where the fuck are you? And I'm like, I'm on a plane to Texas. And I interview.
With Catherine? What about her job?
I interview, I get the job.
What about her job?
That was it.
She's like a ride or die girl, boy.
Ride or die.
What a woman.
And we got $8,000.
Total. That's something. Better than nothing. Okay.
Yeah. So now
And she's an attorney.
She's an attorney. She was licensed in Texas because we lived in Texas 06 to 08.
Okay.
So she got licensed
She
there.
can make a few dollars.
But she had no job.
No, but
so
still,
the first 3 months,
you can
were
always
like,
get a job if you're a lawyer.
But then she found one,
Right.
and like everything started to happen. And like one.
Now you're clean this time. You're clean.
Yeah, I'm clean now. Okay. Yeah. I got like a year sober. I'm working in the treatment
you
center.
You were rolling.
Yeah, things are going good. You know what I mean? And things started to get better and better.
A day at a time, a brick at a time.
That's it. Yeah. And then I remember like the first hit came, like in sobriety. You know what I mean? My wife gets pregnant. And we lose the baby.
Oh God, I'm sorry.
You know, And it's crazy because we're gonna talk about some other weird stuff. I went and see a medium because this is the beautiful thing about recovery, is like during that time it was so hard, but like it was harder for her, and I was the rock.
Right. For a woman, that's one of the worst pains you can have in the world.
But for the
One of the worst.
Worst.
For the first time that
I was her root.
you have to be there for her.
And I showed up.
You could show up, thank God. Yeah.
Yeah, like the way I was supposed to.
No, I understand. I get it.
And so we go see him. And we had so many miscarriages, Ross. Like multiple, bro. One of them was like months into it. You know what I mean?
I do know.
So I go see a medium. My friend Cole, his wife, I want you to go see a medium. I got you a medium appointment. I go see this woman, Tammy Robinson. She's in Utah. And I talked to my son, bro. And at the time it was, I know it's my son now. We're going to get a little weird.
Okay.
All right?
You're talking to Sonny, but Sonny's not even in the picture
Sonny's
yet.
not even in the picture yet.
Okay.
The spirit is with my.
This is a very interesting woman. This meeting, I want her number.
I'll give you.
You know what I'm saying, right?
I got two of them.
Okay.
So I talk to her, and my son, the spirit is with my wife's grandfather. And he goes, "Don't worry, Daddy, I'm gonna come back." So I tell my wife this, and we weep. But this is how crazy life is. We're still trying to get pregnant, right? And now we're gonna do in vitro, right?
Been there, done that.
Yeah. So we do everything, blah blah blah, and the doctor goes, "Listen, go on vacation." So we go on vacation. We come back. We actually were out here, Hollywood Beach.
Nice.
Yeah. We come back, and my mother sends a picture of there's two rainbows in Staten Island. My niece sends the same picture to Kathy. They're both in Staten Island at the same time, right?
That's interesting.
Yeah. My wife goes and takes the test. I say, go take the test. It maybe you're not, because it was so fast after.
Yeah.
Maybe it could be a double bonus. Like even if you're not pregnant, maybe you are. You know what I mean? She comes back and she goes, "I'm pregnant." And she goes, "Today would have been our baby's 1 year. The one we lost, that was 4 months."
Oh my God, what a blessing.
And a baby that's born is a rainbow baby, right? Like after a death, those two rainbows is like
It's God talking to you.
yeah. And then she got pregnant.
Wow.
I mean, you know what I mean?
Certainly, I know you can perform.
Yeah.
Ladies, he's got it. He's still
got it. So, but listen, now, what's the odds that like 14 years ago I get sober, but I don't even know that, like, I think I'm doing it for me, but it's not even about me. Like, it's about my son. It's about his future generations.
You know, talk about blessings, right?
Yeah, because I'm in a whole new frequency. Like, if I was the old guy having him, he's growing up in the same shit, Ross.
Generational curse.
Because of, yeah.
Now I knew what you meant when you broke the cycle. You're the first, right? I get it.
Yeah.
I get it. I wasn't sure what you were referring to. How'd you get those scars? How'd you get that scar on your arm?
So now I do well in business. You know, I open treatments. I fail in business. I fail forward. You know what I mean? I feel
if you
forward.
show me a successful guy, I'll show you a guy that's failed multiple times.
Yes. So I do well. Things start happening. You know, we do well in life. You know, we're doing well.
Yes, we do.
And then, because that's the blessings of recovery.
Well, once you conquer your demons, I mean, bro, there were worlds to conquer now.
Yes.
But you're so busy fighting your own demons, you don't even have that chance.
Yeah. So January of 2023, I develop a cough.
January of 23. Now we okay.
Yeah.
I got it.
January of 2023.
Okay.
I have my son in 2017.
Right.
Sonny's born.
So he's 6 years old.
He's 6 years old. So I developed this cough, and I'm traveling around. I travel a lot. So I was in Cali. I was in Miami. I was in New York, and the cough, it's still there. So I go see two primary care physicians because the one gave me meds. It didn't work. Then I go to see another one because I didn't like that one. And they give me more like steroids. The cough's getting worse. Now I'm like, all right, I got to go see some specialists, right? So I make an appointment with a gastrointestinal because
Okay.
I'm losing weight. But I'm like, I'm in my 40s. I'm still training, but I'm losing weight. My appetite's...
You know something's wrong.
Something's wrong, bros. You know what I mean? And this cough is just like...
I get it.
Doesn't stop. So I go see the pulmonologist and the gastro, and I have a cardiologist appointment. So the gastro, everything comes back good.
Okay.
I go see the pulmonologist. They tell me you got a rare pneumonia called organizing pneumonia.
Oh my God.
3% of the population has it after COVID. So they put me on 60 milligrams of prednisone.
Oh, boy.
They say you're going to be on this for 6 months. We're going to have to taper you down. And they give me 2,000 milligrams of amoxicillin. And at that time, I'm like, 6 months of this?
4 days.
Are you kidding me? I'm
Yeah.
building a business right now.
Well,
Everything
you
started
could still
to
work,
roll.
but you know.
I know. But I didn't know at that time
Right.
what I was really about to face.
I got you. Yeah, that's it. People
So-
don't realize pneumonia is a viral pneumonia. Even a common viral pneumonia
But no, Ross,
kills people.
they misdiagnosing me.
Okay, let's hear. This is
They're all
crazy.
misdiagnosing me. So I got the cardio, I got the and I'm gonna talk about some stuff.
Let's
that's
do it.
Not normal.
No, I
okay?
got you.
I got the cardiologist appointment, but I canceled it because I got the pulmonologist. Right. They just gave me my diagnoses.
I got you.
During this time, Ross, and I'm not this type of guy, but during this time, like in February, I started to feel like disconnected from life. Like I didn't want to be here no more.
I get it.
I freaking book another medium. I'll give you her number. I want to talk to my father. He passed away in 2020. So I booked the appointment with her. It's for May 18th. This is in February. So I go to the pulmonologist. I call him. I start the treatments. My niece is with me, who's needed a kidney transplant her whole life. This is what I'm talking about when I'm going to talk to you. Keep your mind open, and the listeners too, because I don't care. I'm going to share what's God's power. So I start the therapies. And my niece was with me. She leaves, but she's needed a kidney transplant her whole life. This is crazy. So I start the therapies. It's getting worse. Now I'm coughing this orange stuff up. I call the doctor back. I say, listen, I feel like I'm dying. This orange stuff's going. He gives me more medication.
That's all they do, really. I hate to say it.
May 8th, I cough up this much blood, Russ.
Blood?
2023.
Oh, boy.
2023. This is like in next week.
It's very recent, bro.
Yes. So I go to the hospital and I see the pulmonologist and he says, what happened to you? I said, what do you mean what happened to me? I told you what happened to me. They said, we have to admit you. So they admit me, okay? I'm there for 8 hours. And this is why it's so important to have strong faith in life and create a strong mindset. So they admit me into the hospital there. And I'm there 8 hours. And now they say, Mr. Parisi, you have sepsis. They still
boy.
misdiagnosing me.
Oh, boy.
They still misdiagnosing me.
I understand. I get it.
They pump me with 17 liters of fluid. My wife leaves because I got a 6-year-old son. We're living in Austin, Texas. I got no family
No
there.
family there, no help, right?
Nothing.
Right.
So then you see my arm.
Yep.
They never drew the medication to make sure. So like when they put a pick in, they got to draw the line.
Yes.
She didn't make sure it was in.
She's a moron. I hate to say
So
it.
they infiltrated from the inside out. Now I got pain
Oh, my God. Yep.
in my arm.
Because of this moron.
And then imagine the doctor walks in and goes, Mr. Parisi, this is at like fucking midnight, Rose. You don't have sepsis. You have 9% ejection fraction. Your heart, your liver, and your kidneys are failing. And we got to ship you to all places. Bro, I'm in Austin, Texas. You would think Dallas, San Antonio, Houston, Austin, Temple, Texas.
Temple.
20,000 people. The word. And they drive me up. The ambulance drives me up. And my wife is waiting there, Royce. Okay? I might get a little emotional here. With a picture of my 6-year-old boy. Begging me to live. And I got 10 minutes to sit with her and discuss life without me. What do you do with finances? Do this and that. And I fucking died. And I left here
Where'd you die? In the van?
in the fucking ICU.
In the ICU.
They put me on the ventilator. They said you might need to put him on ECMO machine, the most advanced form of life support. There's a doctor there named Dr. Reddy. Thank you so much. He's not there no more.
You had 9% ejection fraction. That means the heart is only working at 9%, which I never even heard of anything like that. I'm not,
So, Ross, I leave my body. And I've helped a lot of people. I'm sober 14. I own a drug and alcohol treatment center.
It's a pretty nice body, I just want to say. I mean, you look pretty good.
I leave the body.
You be careful, you got my body, be in trouble.
This is nothing. This is what's in the inside.
I got you.
What's
I'm
in the
playing.
inside.
I'm playing.
So I leave my body and I'm with my friend that I helped. He got killed when he went back out. I helped him. He had a year sober. And he was there to take me to what's next. And I'm looking down at my body, at me and my wife curled next to me. I'm on a ventilator.
God almighty.
Yeah, and then I had a vision of my son, Ross, walking with another fucking man. And I said, I gotta come back for him. And the voice told me that I'm gonna suffer. So I come back, and I'm in the hospital bed now. Now imagine this. I got doctors and nurses walking in with hazmat suits. And I got the whole room boarded up.
Yeah.
Because the orange stuff that I'm coughing up, they think it's tuberculosis. But it's blood. They still misdiagnosing me.
It's crazy, bro.
It's blood from my heart going into my lungs.
You're drowning in your fluids.
Yeah. And I'm in this thing called
In
atrial...
the fucking hospital.
Yeah. And I'm in this thing called atrial fibrillation.
Yeah,
I didn't even know what the fuck it was. I felt like I was kicking opiates.
Yeah.
My friend Carlo,
And you're
who's
stone cold sober.
stone cold sober, brother.
You just don't know what the hell.
What the fuck is going on here?
You know, it's accumulated all the damage you've done over the years, all that shit. It finally catches up to us. I hate to say it.
It's all divine, Russ.
Well, the healing is divine.
This whole process is divine.
Yeah. I get it. God, he creates warriors, bro.
It was meant to be.
It's warrior training.
It was all meant to be.
Of course.
So now I'm in the bed for 9 days and I'm flipping out because they won't put the fucking pump in my neck. It's in my groin. I lost 45 pounds. If I didn't have the muscle, I'm dead.
Oh, that's another thing, right? If you're not this fit, you're dead.
And what's the odds now? Because I'm like, maybe that didn't happen. Maybe that out-of-body experience didn't happen because, you die, delusional things. I don't know, the brain, right?
I believe it. There's
No, but what's the
100%.
odds now that I'm in the bed, Ross, and I got the appointment with the medium?
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. So now I got this appointment with the fucking medium, and my wife goes, I don't want you to see. And I said, I don't care. Because what the fuck is going on in here? I'm in the twilight zone.
Right.
I got doctors walking in here. They're telling me I might need a heart transplant.
You're like the boy in the bubble.
What are we talking about here?
Right.
So I get on the phone with her. I told you Dr. Reddy was from New York.
Right,
he
right,
brought
right.
his whole team from New York. I'm in a town of 20,000 people.
I know.
20,000 people, okay? What's the odds that all my doctors are from New York? One of them went to the same college as my wife and bakes her favorite rainbow cookies.
Wow.
What's the odds the other one, his father-in-law was a wise guy? What's the odds of that, Royce?
Not too good.
With 20,000 people in Temple, Texas.
Long shots. Crazy.
So I'm on the phone, and you could Google my name. You could read about my dad. You could find out a lot of things, right? So I'm talking to her, and she knows everything about my father. Everything. I got to have an honest conversation with my dad, yeah.
Wow.
And she goes, all your doctors from New York. I said, yeah. She goes, yeah, your father sent them there for you. Royce.
I get it. It's craziness.
Royce. She goes, he keeps telling me about a birthday and a pendant and a chain. Okay? The next day, my mother comes in. I'm in the hospital bed 10 days now, bro. My mother comes in. I told her I said, she knew everything about daddy. She knew all the doctors were from New York. She said he sent them here, but she had Two things wrong. She keeps telling me about a pendant and a chain and a birthday. My father's mother died when he was 14 years old. I never knew my grandmother. She goes, today's your grandmother's birthday. She goes, the pendant and chain? When your dad died, your Aunt Dolores gave me a pendant of your grandmother. I gave it to your Aunt Camille, my dad's sister. I'm in the bed, Ross, and she's fucking FaceTime, and she's wearing the pendant and the chain.
Wow.
So I said to myself in that moment, I said, you know what, Frank? You've not been here before, but you've been here before. You've been in jail. You've been in fucking institutions.
You died.
You've been in hospitals.
You checked every box.
But here's the difference today. You got God.
Well, you always had God. But
yeah, but now you're walking with it. You got personal development.
I get it.
And when you're at your lowest, Ross, you know what you need? Love. And the only way you're going to get anything in life is by giving it.
No question.
And I started to give love. I bought all the nurses, doctors, breakfast, lunch, dinner. I started to get up and walk. They say, we're going to put a pump in your chest now, 13 staples. See, I see, Mo. I was born into the dark, and I know how to lead in that, and I know how to lead in the light, too. I see the whole game of my purpose here and my mission.
I get it.
So I got to get up, and I got to learn how to walk. You're in a bed for 9 days, you got to learn how to walk. And I start with 10 steps. They got a pump in my chest, 13 staples. I'm an opiate addict. Do you see?
Yeah.
Do you see how the devil come when you start seeing the light? They're like, oh, the candy. I didn't take it. 13 fucking staples. I did ibuprofen. And I started to walk. 1, 2 steps, 3 steps, 1 mile, 2 miles, 3 miles, 4 miles.
Now you lost all this weight, right? You were.
I was walking 5 miles a day.
What are you, like 120 pounds, 110 pounds? What do you weigh today?
160.
Okay, God almighty, you were like half dead. Dead?
So I started walking 5 miles a day in the ICU unit.
Wow.
Calling sponsees up, seeing how they're doing, serving in the darkest of times while I'm here in Code Blue because of the man that I developed 14 years ago for my son. It has nothing to do with me, my life, but my son watches me. You know what I mean?
Of course I know.
Never a victim in life.
They watch everything. The kids.
Never a victim in life. Never why me? Why not me? What's the gift and what am I going through and what am I going to become because of it? And I started to write that book in the hospital because if I die, I wanted my son to know where his dad came from and to have the blueprint of where he could go in life. And I served. And you know what happened? I started to walk 5 fucking miles, Ross. They got me a Superman cape in the ICU unit. And every time I'd leave the unit, they play the Superman music. I started to bring light in the darkest of times. I had old people walking around, waving, having them walk. You know what I mean?
I do.
Yeah, I started to serve in the darkest, and God's blessing me because of it. Because I showed up in the man that I developed, not even knowing it had nothing to do with me, having to do with my son and his future generations, because I'm the fucking one, Ross. I'm not delusional about any of this shit, and it's all divine. My whole journey, it could have been the drugs, the steroids, the vaccine, whatever it was, it needed to go. So now they're telling me I got to get an arm debridement, and maybe now I might need a heart transplant.
Get an arm what?
Debridement. So they got to debride my arm.
What does that mean?
It was all black. So now they got to debride it. I got to get a surgery for that.
What is debride mean? I never heard that
They
word.
got to clean it. They got to clean it. Is this much missing? And then they got to wait for it to grow back and get a skin graft surgery.
Oh my God.
So now I go in and they say, your
All
heart's-
because this lady didn't know how to put a fucking IV needle in. You know, you could have sued them. I hope you did. I don't know if.
Whatever.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
Yeah. Yeah. No comment. But
They
Now-
have insurance.
yeah, no, whatever.
All right.
But listen, so now I go in and they're like, your heart's dead. Because this impeller pump that I had,
That was the problem in the beginning. Yeah, 9%. Boy.
yeah, Dr. Hernandez, I love you. It's my guy. He's the one that knew off the rip that I was gonna need a heart transplant.
And you were misdiagnosed. So you got a full heart transplant?
So
Oh
listen,
my God.
yeah. So wait, so I get the arm debridement June 1st, right? Now you to get on the heart transplant list. There's 2 options. You either do the LVAD, LVAD is a pump that goes in your chest and wires come out of your stomach, and you get an 18-hour plug. Or you get a heart transplant. But you got to qualify for a heart transplant. You want to use what do you do for a living? Can you pay for your medications? Like, I mean, there's a million tests.
They don't want to waste the heart on it if you're not going to play.
You know how many people get a heart in America?
I understand.
Do you know how many?
No.
Do you know how many in the past 10 years got a heart? Under 30,000.
Wow.
Yeah, 0.00018%. So they say to me, okay, they debride my arm, and now I got to play with the OxyContin, Russ, because...
You got no choice at this point.
Because it's like literal fire on your arm.
They give you diluted, liquid diluted.
I was getting that shot right up with that.
Right.
I needed it. Because every time they would clean my arm.
Bro, don't even discuss it. You know that you're not using. That's what drugs are for.
But that's like the dog.
I understand.
Do you understand? Because now you're at your lowest. You're going to get a heart transplant. Here's the candy. Fuck you.
Well, it's
You know
not
what I'm
candy
saying?
at this point.
Right, but I'm saying, like,
No, but I get.
when
I
you're
understand.
at the lowest, that's
I
why you got to
understand.
keep your sword sharp. That's why you got to have strong
I
faith,
understand.
personal
I
development,
understand.
recovery, especially if you're a person in recovery.
Yeah.
You got to stay solid.
Well, you got to understand the game too. I mean, you know.
So, June 1st, arm debridement. They say it's going to be 6 to 8 weeks that you get a heart, because now I get approved for the heart.
You got to prove
6 to 8 weeks.
in Temple.
In
Wow.
Texas.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
6 to 8 weeks. It's going to be, and they come in the next day and they say, Mr. Parisi, you have a heart tomorrow. One day.
Do you know where the heart came from?
Yeah.
You do.
Yeah. And if you go on my Instagram, when I come through, like, how do you deal with a heart transplant, Rose? Right? How do you go into, God is everything.
Everything.
Well, he's nothing. He's everything.
Of course. Always.
Always.
I know.
I know you know. And I come out, and because I'm like such a like addict, right? Like, I'm on the ventilator awake. Like, multiple times this happened. Like, they couldn't sedate me. So I come to on a ventilator, like, for hours.
I understand.
It's fucking miserable. But I said, give me the fucking board. And I wrote, and you'll see on my Instagram, Facebook, whatever, I don't care about pain. I'm grateful to be alive.
Thank God you feel the pain. I say that sometimes myself.
Yeah.
Sometimes I need to know I'm in pain.
Yeah. So I wrote the book. I started writing the book. The book in the summertime became a bestseller. You know, in the darkest of times.
So they cracked that chest open.
I got wires.
I mean, that's a big surgery, bro.
Yeah.
You got a heart transplant.
I have
Hold
a
on.
heart transplant.
And look how you look today.
So listen to this.
And you can exercise the way you do and do all these different things. Do you know what I'm saying? Some guys would be much more nervous about it. Not Frank Parisi, but I'm just saying. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no.
It's frightening.
Warrior mindset.
I get it, bro.
PTG.
I get it.
Post-traumatic growth.
Animal.
Savage
Beast.
mindset. So then in the
Savage.
summertime comes, right? I get the mail, Rose. Right? I get the mail. I never get the mail. But I got the mail. It's a Friday night. It's my donor's family. Wow. Yeah. The parents are divorced. I spoke to the mom, great woman. Love you, Cora. And Matthew is renewing his vows of 10 years the next day in Longview, Texas, and invited me and my family to participate in the ceremony. And I got to go out to Longview, Texas, and walk his mother-in-law down the aisle.
Oh, my God.
My donor's a 19-year-old girl named Kaylee Bearden, brother.
Oh, my God. What
And
a story, bro.
she died in a car accident, and her little sister, one of her little sisters, was in the car, and they all listened to her heart.
It's our heart.
It's her heart.
Wow.
I have female DNA, bro.
It's hard to believe. Have you had any sort of conditions or fallout or setbacks as a result of this surgery?
No, I gotta watch what I eat. I gotta wash my hands a lot more. I take a medication now that lowers my immune system. It's called tacrolimus.
So it doesn't attack the heart until at some point this is a new stuff, bro.
Yeah. They usually last 11 years, but they said for me, because of the way I take care of myself, it could be decades.
Could be.
Yeah.
So there's a time limit on some of these things, potentially.
11 years.
That's their average or their...
Yeah. So June 3rd will be 2 years. Yeah.
I keep my eyes on you, Frank.
I mean, but how crazy.
This
This is not even real.
You see,
I come from Little Italy.
I understand.
This is like,
I understand.
you know what I mean?
It's incomprehensible. I can't even conceive this. What's going on here? I'm like,
and then all the other crazy shit that's happening in my life. April, I helped the company go from zero. They were zeros. Used were zeros without me. And I took them to a $7.2 million top line revenue. And they decided to say, you know what, here we go. Right after my heart transplant. How crazy.
what they do?
They let me go.
They let you go and they took
let
the
me
money.
go. They took the money. So, but now I own, with my business partner, my own mental health and substance abuse facility.
What's it called?
It's called Emotion Wellness.
Say it again.
Emotion Wellness.
Emotion Wellness.
Emotion Wellness. San Antonio, Texas.
It's your company, your
It's all,
partners.
yeah, me and Jason Turner.
Jason, what's shaking, baby?
Jason. We needed him out here with us.
And wow.
So now, I have that. I have multiple businesses that I'm partners in. I'm partners in a water company called Sober Water.
I've never heard that's a good one.
Yeah, Sober Water. It's in Durango, but we're building out a plant, and it's to end plastic. And then we're also building out a sober community in Durango, Colorado.
Wow.
Yeah, with the proceeds. So that's another company that I'm
love
involved
that.
with. Yeah.
I love these projects, man.
Yeah.
I mean, what a story. We did a lot of work on you. You know, Stephanie has had multiple conversations with you. She created all these questions, really put work into it.
Yeah.
Obviously, Google, the book, everything.
Yeah.
And I also do some good work, but I just never like to get too informed because then my reactions are not real.
Yeah.
I'm stupefied by the shit I heard here. I want you to know that. I'm stupefied. Especially having seen you with your shirt off, bro.
And I built my body back.
That is, you know,
Discipline.
Savage, disciplined beasts.
It's discipline is the greatest. It's the greatest form of self-love, Russ.
Mm-hmm.
It truly is.
I want to tell you a quick story, very quick.
Yeah.
I met a guy in Florida through my attorney. He, big stock promoter, made millions and millions. Also, and a street kid originally from Detroit, Michigan. Used to rob people. Big, strong guy. He was a bodybuilder type his whole life. A lot of juice, you know, but also a lot of drugs. He loved crack and all these different things. And at some point, he gets rushed to the hospital. He ODs. ICU. They tell him his kidney's failing. He's got to have a kidney transplant. He's going to die. Not even. They couldn't even hook up to machines, or whatever. I don't know what the story was exactly. It was a multi-millionaire, $10 million house on the water in Fort Lauderdale. Very successful, but an addict. And he gets clean. This shocks him into sobriety. And, you know, to get a kidney transplant, there's a list.
Yeah.
But he has some relationships, pays off some people, whatever he did, gets a kidney. They said he was dead a few times. Gets the kidney in the gym, also disciplined with the gym. And life is beautiful. Then he starts using again. Crack. Kidney fails.
Yeah.
He had the same kind of issue with you. Now he has a heart problem. His heart's not working right. They say we're going to open you up to save your life, but you're going to have a stroke. They tell him.
Yeah.
If we don't do this, you'll be dead by tomorrow. And can you imagine they tell you this? They give you a choice. All because he picked up. And they eventually has a stroke, gets open heart surgery, but now this kidney, he had the privilege of getting a kidney transplant.
God bless.
But he blew it on drugs. They say he needs another kidney. But now they deny him.
They won't give it to him.
Now they deny him because he's a low chance.
If you don't take care of yourself,
Right.
you get voted for this.
Right, there are people that care.
Yeah, so back to what I was saying, because I forgot.
And just so you know, he's dead, 45 years old. He died.
Yeah.
They took him apart. amputated his legs, his arms, and then he died in the hospital. But I'm just saying. So this is a message. He was sober. He got clean. It is a very, very sneaky disease.
Absolutely.
So you got to stay vigilant.
Always.
And understand that for you, a guy like you, God gave you that second chance. He's giving you 25 chances, but this was a big one.
Listen to this. I didn't mention this.
Please.
Back to the kidney transplant, because I spoke about my niece being with me 2
Correct.
weeks before. So she watches her uncle go through all this. Bounce back. What's the odds of this, Ross? This is all the synchronicities in my life. She's getting worked up for her kidney transplant May 8th, the day I died. What's the odds I get like social media following, right? I do a call to action for her.
Yep.
175,000 views for people to donate for my niece.
Wow.
20 people donate. What's the odds that one of them is my donor sister that donates for her? Come on.
Crazy.
You can't make any of this up,
It's
huh?
a crazy fucking story.
Right?
It is.
Courtney, I love you, even though you couldn't do it.
Now let's talk about what you're doing now.
Yeah.
You are
Motivational speaking.
You're born again, really.
I am like in a whole new vibration frequency. I literally have new DNA. I'm in a whole new, like, I love life. I'm so grateful for every day. We don't know. None of us know. But, like, the beautiful thing is that, Royce, like, we don't die, brother. We just leave these bodies.
I get that.
You know what I mean? That's comforting.
I already know that.
That's so comforting to know.
Well, not necessarily, because sometimes I say, God, I'm ready to go to the next place. God, I want to check out.
I'm not ready. I got Sonny's got another
God,
25 more with
Can
me.
I get an early checkout?
Yeah.
I mean, you know what I mean? I mean, like, I'm ready. I can't take it anymore. I've said those things.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then you know what happens when I'm at my lowest? When I say, literally, I just can't take it anymore.
Yeah.
Do you know what happens? A miracle.
Yeah.
Literally.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, something happens and takes me out of my pain.
Yeah.
I know it sounds crazy.
No, it's
but
not.
This is one lunatic talking to another one.
Yeah.
And it's real life.
It
when
is
I
real
can't take it
life.
anymore, somehow,
Yeah.
all of a sudden, God puts a pin and takes some air out of the fucking disaster balloon.
Yeah.
And then life is good.
Yeah.
It's really a crazy thing. Now, with your story, with this amazing book, I heard a rumor, and I'm not expecting you to confirm or deny it, that they're going to make a movie out of this book. There's going to be a movie. I mean, who's going to play you? Matthew McConaughey? Jake Gyllenhaal? What do you think?
I don't know.
Huh?
I don't know.
Tom Cruise?
I've had some directors come, but we there's no funding yet. So.
It's going to be a movie. I just got a feeling.
Yeah.
This is an amazing story. You're an amazing guy. So what do you see for Frank Parisi over the next 5 years?
We're going to grow Emotion Wellness to a national brand. We have one location now in San Antonio, but you're going to see more of that. You're going to see me on stages, a lot more stages.
I can't wait.
Doing motivational speaking. I'm growing my mindset coaching program. You're going to see that be
I love it.
very big. And then these other companies that I've got some partnerships with, you're going to see a lot of that as well. Sober Water, Pick'em Technology, Brain One.
Sonny? What's Sonny's story?
Sonny's phenomenal. Sonny is a blue belt in Taekwondo. He's the star quarterback of his flag football team.
Wow.
He bats first on his baseball team. He made All-Stars this year. He's the point guard on the basketball team. He works out with me.
How old is he?
Eats healthy. He's 8 years old.
No, he's not.
No, what do you
I got to
8 years
ask.
old.
How old were you? 12.
I was 12.
So, well, I mean, he's
my
getting ready.
family has core values. We are like disciplined. We're a health family. We're a God family, and it's non-negotiable. Like we all work out. We all eat healthy.
You go to church?
We don't go to church, but we're a God family.
But you pray?
We pray.
I pray every day. Do you pray every day?
Every day. I have a strong relationship with God. But I go to a temple. I go to a church. It doesn't matter. I feel God. I'm very spiritual. You know?
I can tell.
I grew up Catholic.
I feel it.
Yeah.
I feel
I'm connected.
your aura. This thing, 'cause I am.
Yeah.
I am.
Yeah.
You know, I talk to God so often, sometimes he just hangs up on me.
All the time.
He's just like, bro, leave me alone. I'm busy.
All day.
I got other people to take care of.
Yeah.
You know, there's enough already. Get back to me.
Yeah.
That's really cool. So, to me, having now I really have a better understanding of Frank Parisi.
Yeah.
And I'm very grateful. Steffi, amazing work.
Thank you, Stephanie.
They say that there's an expression, and it's actually in Scripture. To whom much is given, much is expected. From what you told us today, you've been given a lot. You've been given second chances, third chances, fourth chances. You've been given the gift of Catherine Goldberg.
Yeah.
Catherine, we're not worthy. Men like us, we're not worthy. But God bless you.
Yeah.
You have been given a heart.
I know.
You have been given skin grafts. You've been there and back, literally. The mediums. I mean, God has just given you an opportunity
Ross,
to go forward.
what has happened in the past 9 months, not even since September. I had no employment in September. I wrote a book. I own 4 companies right now. It's God.
Of course.
I mean,
But you also have a mindset. You'll never quit.
Never.
They're going to have to kill you to get you to stop going forward.
100%.
And I expect great things from Frank Parisi. I expect. And I'm going to have my eye on you.
Yes.
And I'm going to hold you accountable now from a little bit of a distance.
We're staying in touch.
Oh, yeah. I want you to understand that you have been given more than your fair share. And you've taken it. You've accepted it.
Mm-hmm.
And so now it's on you to give back.
That's what I'm doing.
To help.
That's
to
all I'm doing.
advise, to consult.
Mm-hmm.
There are people that are so down and out.
I know.
And sometimes it just takes one other voice. I know I'm helping people. It's
That's
great.
why I'm
It's
so
great.
active on social media, because I get DMs every day of people that I'm helping around the world.
I
Ross.
get it. It's a small
Around
world
the
and a big world.
I know, but it's beautiful.
It's beautiful.
Just to make that impact for somebody. That's all I ask God to do. Let me live so I could serve. And I knew when I was going through what I was going through, just like with addiction, that He was using me. I even wrote about it. Like, if you go from 2 years ago, you look at my posts, I knew that He was using me again to be able to serve not just the addicts and alcoholics out there, but humanity now. People that have heart transplants, liver, kidney, cancer. My mom's got cancer right now. She's struggling with breast cancer right now, and
understand.
chemotherapy. But she watched me go through, so that gives her strength.
Of course.
You know what I mean?
Of course I know.
Yeah. So it's like, that's the thing. And people need, what changes the world is belief. And sometimes you need hope to create belief. And I'm that hope for others.
I get it.
To make that belief in them. You understand?
Hope to me is the single most important and powerful emotion there is.
Yes.
And belief is the most powerful thing in the universe.
Changes the world.
If you believe, you can.
Yes.
If you believe you can't, you're
won't.
right.
Yep.
Okay, so we're wrapping up now. Is there anything you want to share with me and the audience? Anything you want to say? Anything we didn't cover? Anything you want to share with us?
I'm just so grateful for the opportunity to be on here. For the audience, if you want to follow me on Instagram, it's at Frank Parisi 2011. You could get my book on frank-parisi.com. I also have a coaching program for mindset.
How do we find that?
You also get the whole fitness program with that, but it's really a mindset, because our body is a direct reflection of our mind.
100%.
And that is at frank-parisi.com/coaching. You could also find our substance abuse and mental health facility at emotionwellness.com. We also have a podcast, the Emotion Wellness Podcast.
Very important. People need to contact you directly.
Yes. So anybody struggling with mental health or substance abuse, please reach out to me. We have an amazing program. We're all about energy and motion. We do things innovative. We have a whole CrossFit gym. We're putting you in the plunge,
love it.
The sauna. Yes, we do therapy in the sauna. We do things very differently. So follow us there, and also Sober Water Company. Be doing some cool things with them, and then Pick'em Technology. That's another company that partners with a few other people.
So we're going to embrace abundance with Frank Parisi. Buy the book. When the movie comes out, make sure you watch the movie. And I just want to thank you very much for coming today, bro.
Thanks for having me
It's
on.
been a long time.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We've been communicating, you know.
We have been.
It was the first time we're meeting, correct?
Yes.
I want everybody to hear that.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
I appreciate you so much.
Thank you so
Thank
much,
you.
my brother. My pleasure.
Yeah. Crazy, huh?